Hello everybody, welcome to Our Culture Gaming. I'm Scott, joined by Ewan.
Howdy.
Howdy doody in regards to Red Dead Redemption, a fellow cowboy thing. Things ain't going so well. We've heard from Strauss Zelnick, Take-Two's own, the parent company of Rockstar, in regards to the Red Dead Redemption remake, remaster, port thing that we're going to be getting because after this got revealed, the trailer came out for it, the teaser thing for the new version of Red Dead with a $50, £50 price tag attached to it. Obviously a lot of ire doing the rounds in regards to that. It just needs more money, Arthur. So Strauss Zelnick was asked about this by IGN, the response to the price tag and what the hell's going on with trying to charge $50 or pounds for a 13-year-old game with the multiplayer taken out of it. And Zelnick's response was, that's just what we believe is the commercially accurate price for it. In the same call, EVP of Finance Hannah Sage did then mention that the game does get you Undead Nightmare. So don't worry about it. You got some DLC.
Everything is so good.
A little bit of DLC in there as standard. It doesn't have the multiplayer. It doesn't have the multiplayer DLC. I did want to throw in here that if you buy Red Dead's DLC over on Xbox right now, it's £6.75. Or the Game of the Year edition of Red Dead is on Amazon for £24. We're not sponsored by them, but it's very, very cheap over there. And that comes with all the DLC, whether it be multiplayer or single. Thoughts on this before we get further?
Again, on those prices as well, I'm fairly certain that I bought the Game of the Year edition for Red Dead Redemption in 2014 for literally like £10. So that's probably just been inflated by the news that there's a new port coming out, and then they're going to know that people are going to want to get the Xbox version because it's slightly cheaper. This is so stupid. The idea that just transparently admitting that they are doing this because they know that they can charge it. They know that they can do this because the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 systems, they do not have Red Dead Redemption. So they can go ahead and go, hey, give us 50 quid for that. And you'd be like, hey, that's not fair, Mr. Rockstar. And they'll go, tough luck, kid. And I think
that's the thing underneath all of this. It's very Nintendo, where like over the years, and they should never have gotten away with this. It's just that thing of like, oh, you Nintendo, you're overcharging us again.
Me dry here,
every time. And over the years, I feel like enough of us have just kind of let Nintendo get away with this stuff. That the likes of Rockstar or various other teams, every now and then, just see what they can get away with. And it's going to be one of those things when this release finally comes out. What are the sales actually going to be? Are people going to end up getting it because they do want the most up-to-date version of it or the newest version of it as possible? And I guess that'll be whether or not it proves Zelnick right or not. Are Rockstar like a Nintendo? Will you buy it just because it's Rockstar? The GTA Definitive Edition didn't sell that well, and obviously that thing was on fire. Assumably the Red Dead port will be better, but there is a little bit more to this. Strauss does say in regards to Undead Nightmare that it was a great standalone game in its own right when it was originally released, so they feel like it's a great bundle for first-time players.
It was a DLC that they released on disc. What is this separate little thing? What?
But look, don't worry. Look, he says right here, it's certainly great value for consumers. So don't worry about it. It's just £50, even if it's £6 somewhere else.
I feel so valued right now, Scott. I've never felt more valued in my life.
I tell you what I'm going to throw in here, which I think is the wider point here in regards to what they are seen to be doing, which is the approach to backwards compatibility that Take-Two have and Rockstar have as well. Which, he gets asked about all this stuff from IGN in the report, and he does say in regards to backwards compatibility going forward that he would be surprised if platforms didn't offer it in the future without an upgrade, at some sort of mid-cycle upgrade or something. He does say that he's not certain if backwards compatibility is even a must-have. Now, I think that this is getting at the idea of if you don't have standard backwards compatibility, you can have a million versions of this Red Dead type scenario where you just charge people for it instead. As well, he also says that it depends on the vision that the creative teams have for a given title, and in the absence of having a powerful vision, we might bring that game in its original form. We've done that, and in certain instances, we might remaster or remake. So we really think it depends on the title and how the label feels about it, the platform, and whether we think the opportunity is for consumers. The only opportunity is the money for the people that are putting the thing out. It's not a good deal for the consumers at all whatsoever.
Bad deal.
Bad deal.
Bad deal.
I don't like it.
No, I'm not a big fan either. It's just, again, it's very frustrating. That's a lot of words to say that we know you're gonna pay. We know you're gonna pay us, suckers. And I do think people will go out and buy this. Like, it's the case of like we're now 13 years away from the original Red Dead Redemption. There are people who are now kind of like of the age to play those games where it's like like the ratings or whatever, who probably didn't have it on Xbox 360, didn't have it on PlayStation 3, who may have a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, they'll treat this as, it's like a brand new game, I'm just going to get it. But for everyone who grew up with Red Dead Redemption and played it or whatever, back in 2010, it's a rotten deal. It stinks. So I think like it's frustrating because they know that they can get away with it. And like even with the volume of criticism that has come out in the past few days or whatever, it's ultimately going to peter out. It's just controversy that they can withstand, and even though it's silly, it's just very annoying.
Is the Rockstar that we loved and grew up with dead? Are they gone.
It's
now.
definitely got the TB. It's definitely got like if the GTA Trilogy edition was who's the guy who Arthur interrogates and gets the TB from?
I know the guy that he shakes and he gets coughed on.
The Downs family.
Yes.
He's gonna get the goop from that, and now we're in like full on.
This feels like
phase.
Rockstar's getting the goop from Take-Two, because I wonder how much of this, maybe the seeds of this started as just a business decision. Like Strauss says, they have tried various other approaches to this, whether it be the re-releases of L.A. Noire, the various different versions of that, changing some of the interrogation phrasings and things like that, or the GTA Definitive Edition, which was in theory built from the ground up, but it used AI and got a lot of stuff wrong. They have tried various approaches to this. The Mafia Definitive Edition is the best version of this, which I think is what a lot of people assumed would happen with Red Dead. I think it always comes down to the game itself. It's one of those things where there was so much momentum in the direction of a Red Dead remake. In this case, there were all the assets that were in Red Dead Redemption 2, and there was just the fact that it got rated over in Korea. There was the Rockstar Presents thing. There was a lot of fuel in that direction that kind of felt like they would do something more than just here's the base game. The problem here, I think, is entirely the price. It's just that thing of like you're charging a full price for something that's 13 years old, and it's less of that game. It's not even the multiplayer.
Yeah, literally, if you're on Xbox, you can play the multiplayer, you get all the multiplayer DLC, the co-op missions. The co-op missions are really fun in that game as well. Whereas if you're on PlayStation, you don't get that. It's really silly and frustrating because it's like you say, like there is so much. Even though the original Red Dead Redemption has aged very well, like it would have been such a great opportunity to bring the mechanics that we got from RDR2 into that kind of game, and obviously, maybe streamline the continuity a bit, maybe integrate a few more references and make it so that Arthur's legacy is felt more in the original game. But there is more impetus
way more you could do
to do a Red Dead remake than there is pretty much half of the remakes that we've gotten over the last few years. That's what makes it so frustrating. Not only the fact that they're charging 50 quid for it, but the fact that, there was a scenario here where you could have charged 50 quid for a new version of Red Dead Redemption and people wouldn't have been mad.
Yeah, I think where we are right now when it comes to remakes overall, me and Josh just did a whole podcast on the state of remakes. Go subscribe to the What Culture Gaming podcast. I know, cheeky plug. But it's one of those things where various different teams, different studios are approaching it in different ways, whether it is just a straight port, whether it is a remake, even The Last of Us Part 1. That was right on the line. And even at the time when the trailer came out, it was a lot of people going, well, we've already got this. You've already done a PlayStation 4 version that works on PS5. You're going back again to do it again. And it'll be, I guess in the way that Zelnick's phrasing it, it'll be those kind of conversations. We think it's commercially accurate. Will people pay it? And that's what we'll just have to wait and see at launch. I think when it comes to Rockstar, I've long let go of the version that I grew up with when it comes to Rockstar. I did a whole editorial on how Red Dead 2, at least to me, is about the death of Rockstar.
Give me a board and a nail, I'll hammer the Rockstar coffin.
The best possible part of that game. But still, I don't really see Rockstar overall necessarily coming back from it. I think we'll get GTA 6, but I just feel like overall they've been away for so long, and we're in a new era of Rockstar. The old one, all the staff, all the people, all the creatives that made that what it is, they are long gone.
It's really bad. I'm so jaded that I don't think I'm looking forward to GTA 6.
I don't think a lot of people are either. I think that's one of the biggest things that people don't want to admit is that it's taken so long that the average person is just like, yeah, whatever, man. We've heard about it for 10 years
Rockstar
now.
have delivered in so many different ways over the years, and it's frustrating that we haven't had anything since Red Dead Redemption 2 because we know they're capable of crafting these ridiculous masterpieces. Just everything we've had since then has reinforced the worst traits that we've gotten over the past decade.
Totally.
The stuff that they learned from GTA Online, shutting Red Dead Online after promising the world to players, all these cool different things and stuff, and now we got this GTA Trilogy. It's just, there's only so much goodwill that you can. It's frustrating. Like everyone was looking forward to GTA 6, but it's been so long now. I don't know. It's a shame to see.
Yes, we'll probably do some sort of follow-up video on the state of GTA 6 because a lot of people don't realize just how much staff turnover, how many creative minds have left Rockstar. Sam Houser's still there, the dude that came in on DMA Design, made Rockstar what it is, but it was alongside his brother, it was alongside Laszlo Jones, Leslie Benzies as well, and we can revisit that stuff going forward. For now, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Ewan from WhatCulture.com.
I'll put a little video here just for you, and we'll catch you next time.
It's covering my face. I can't breathe.
Bye.
Bye.